Narrows of Hands Creek, one of West Virginia's rare and undisturbed natural places. Hands Creek winds down between the mountains at this point, flanked on one side by Ellison's Ridge and flanked on the other side by Smith Ridge. The creek winds down around the lower end of Ellison's Ridge before it then enters the Hands Creek Valley. Let's now take a hike down through the Narrows. On this hike, we'll see why this place is so unique. In this quiet, undisturbed place, nature abounds. Many different species of plants, flowers, shrub, and fungi put on a spectacular show in spring. Their beauty can be enjoyed in the quiet and splendor here. Rhododendron and mountain laurel show their colors. Many species of fungi can be seen along the way. Some species grow on dead tree stumps or on tree trunks. Others grow on the ground or on rocks. Ferns are seen covering the forest floor. Many species of wildflowers grow here. The creek here provides home for minnows, crawfish, and many other species can be seen sitting on the creek banks. A salamander crawling across a rock may catch your eye, or a tarpon slowly crossing your path. You may spot an owl perched on a tree branch. On your way, you can visit a bear's den if you like. You may want to just stop and listen to the creek going by and hear the birds singing. Winter is a wonderful time to visit. In winter, this place becomes a winter wonderland. You may spot a teaberry plant with fruit, a rare sight in winter. You will not want to miss seeing the blue hole. Here the water is a pretty blue color. You will venture along rock outcroppings in the hillsides. Now that we have seen the beauty of this place, I would like now to tell you some of its history. History of the people who lived here, worked here, and some of their descendants still own this land. This is the old Grover house, which was the first family to live there. Estill Mann and Geneva's daughter Madge was born in this house. This house was where George Miller and his family lived. My grandfather Sid Miller was one of his sons, and Ross, George's youngest son, was born in this house. This house is where Estill Mann and his family lived in the Narrows of Hands Creek. His children still own this house and land and still enjoy coming here and relaxing at times. This picture is of William Smith, my great-grandfather, his brother and son-in-law standing in front of the sawmill they ran in the Narrows of Hands Creek. It was located along the creek. Lumber for the benches of a local church was sawed here. This large rock is located in the Narrows of Hands Creek. This is an old picture of some local people gathered on it and at the foot on horses. My grandmother Smith is in this picture. This rock at one time had written on it, "Man and Miller Hotel," as a local joke. The words are long gone now. This is a picture of myself in front of the same rock in 2017. This chimney is all that's left of the old house where Cass Mann lived in the Narrows of Hands Creek. We're at another spot in the Narrows of Hands Creek at a spring called the Mormon Spring. Herman's going to tell us a little history about it.
This is the old Mormon Spring. When I was a kid, they used to say the Mormons come through here and camped and used this spring.
The sad part is that very soon this place and all its unique beauty and history will no longer exist because of impending disaster. A monster is ready to devour it. The Mountain Valley Pipeline, a 42-inch natural gas pipeline that will cross West Virginia and Virginia for 303 miles, will invade this beautiful place and cross Hands Creek, only one of the 1,108 streams that the pipeline and its access roads will cross.
I'm talking on behalf of the Friends of the Nares of Hands Creek. The Nares of Hands Creek is a little narrow valley of Hands Creek. And I'm going to give you a little explanation of what it is. The Hands Creek starts on Peters Mountain and runs down by James Monroe High School in Monroe County, and what we call the Upper Hands Creek Valley. That's the meandering farming valley. And then it comes to the Narrows. And the Narrows of Hands Creek is most like a miniature New River Gorge. The Narrows of Hands Creek is unique in the plant species, the hydrology, and just the sheer beauty of the area. It's used for rituals, baptisms, family picnics, horseback riding, ATV riding, just a numerous things. There's just an overwhelming diversity of plants that you don't find in many places. I even believe we have an endangered species. I haven't got DNR down there because they said we're too busy. I believe we even have an endangered species right where they want to cross, the small world begonia. In order to come to where they want to cross the ridge, you got to go through this field. It's a swamp, lots of springs. You go across the old road. It's actually the old insurance road. And it's flat bedrock. Like I told you, it's flat bedrock right there. You cross the creek, you've got a road, the old historic road, that's barely wide enough for a single vehicle. It's 90 degrees for 50 feet, probably 85, and then it goes to probably 70 feet to the top to his farm, Mr. Gore's farm on Oak Hill Ridge. That's on this side. That's the road we've got to build. Right directly below it, it's another steep bank 20 feet high, and then you're in the floodplain. They're going to put a 40-foot road there. They're going to have a tremendous road cut. You go around the ridge a little bit, there's a little bit more open area. They'll open that whole area up and they'll let all that sunlight in there, and they're going to destroy lots of plants, lots of lady slippers, rhododendron. I could just name you, I've got 1,500 pictures I've taken in the last 2 years. This is a sacred area. The creek is a baptismal site for several places up through there, including the pipeline corridor. And that's something it's a jewel in Monroe County that has to be protected.
The building of this pipeline brings with it the threat to destroy many species of plants, flowers, and wildlife in its path. Building this pipeline will bring the threat to pollute water supplies, threat of fires from explosions, and landslides. The MVP corridor will descend off Ellison's Ridge and cross Hands Creek at this spot, and then ascend straight up Smith Ridge through these cliffs to the top of the ridge, destroying everything in its path. The descendants of the Mann family still own this property to this day. They were born and raised here. They have a strong attachment to this land, as well as many of us here in this area. Their roots are deep in this land, probing deep into the land, welding generations of people to it, with a passionate love for its ways. The most fundamental pride in the world is the pride you have in owning a small piece of land. You have to live on your own land, walk on it, work in its dirt, to know the final pride of being free. These mountains and hills are the heart and soul of these people. This soil gives them life. Water from the mountains refresh and restore them after long, hard days of work. They draw life from this land. It is a part of them. These people's constitutional rights have been taken away in order to allow a for-profit corporation to come in, take their land for private gain, and the state, the governor, the politicians are not listening to the people. They are listening to big corporations. Jesse James robbed from the rich and gave to the poor. The gas and oil companies are robbing from the poor and giving to the rich, the dirty little money-hungry corporations that destroys people's lives.